What's up, family? Now, I'm sure many of you are very aware of this video that is going out about me that came from Deacon Sicarii of Sicarii Ministries. I want to make this very clear right now. What I'm bringing out has absolutely nothing to do with his response video. It was a response video to multiple wives. Quite frankly, I didn't even watch his response, because I had better things to do than to watch a grown man throw a temper tantrum after I destroyed his little lying doctrine with scripture from the Bible. Okay? Nothing at all. So, what am I bringing out here tonight? What I want to bring here to you tonight is dishonesty that comes from Deacon Sicarii and also someone from his ministry. And this all came from a YouTube comment that I'm getting ready to share with you right now. Now, before we do that, I want to bring out the definition of a lie. And Israel, this is going to be kind of fast paced because I'm sure you have better things to do. But in this particular case here, people should know who and what type of spirit they're actually following. Okay? And this right here, should serve as a warning to anyone else who actually may want to seek this ministry's guidance. So I'm going to bring out the definition of a lie, and there's actually 7 of them. Let's go ahead and get that. Lie. Definition. A false statement made with deliberate intent to deceive, an intentional untruth, a falsehood. Number 2. Something intended or serving to convey a false impression, imposture. Number 3. An inaccurate or false statement, a falsehood. Number 4. The charge or accusation of telling a lie. Number 5. To speak falsely or utter untruth knowingly, as with intent to deceive. Now, Israel, I'm going to read this here one more time because this is one of the ones I want you to plant in your mind. I love having you make plants. Watch this. To speak falsely or utter untruth knowingly, with intent to deceive. Number 6. To express what is false, convey a false impression. Number 7. To bring about or affect by lying, often used reflexively. All right, so that's the definition of a lie. Now, why did I bring that out? Because what I'm going to show you that, number 1, Deacon Sicarii and also one of his comrades, someone that's a part of his ministry, actually lied on me, bared false witness against me. Okay? So, one of the things that I can't stand in this world is a liar. Okay? And not only just a liar, but a divisive liar. And that is what the both of these men exercised during whatever they were trying to do. But they did. And they lied. And for what? I have no idea, but they lied. But I expect nothing less from a devil. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to go to a YouTube comment that is on multiple wives. Now, please forgive me if I mispronounce your name, brother, but this is the name of the man who did this. His name is Taz Benyamyan. Taz Benyamyan. So here's what he says. Plus, Mr. Maliss only answers back the women. Now, Israel, of course, when I looked at that comment, and for those of you that know me, I was like, what? Because if this man had a half a brain cell, he would have noticed all he had to do was go into the comments and look to see whether or not if I'm talking to men, women, both, or just one of them. Now, when you go into the comment section, you will actually see that I talk to both men and women. So this man bared false witness against me. Why? I don't know. I have no idea. But I want you to see how divisive this truly is. Now, this is something that seems so minuscule. You know, you may be looking at me and being like, why is that brother tripping about that? Because the fact of the matter is that he lied. And let me explain something to you. This just dropped in my lap. But I'm going to show you exactly how the Most High will elevate spirits so that you can get a very good look at what they are. Now, Israel, do you remember last week when we were having the lesson on multiple wives? What did I tell you? I said that there will be a lot of people that's going to be mad. They're going to be mad. And what they're going to do, they're going to attack me. And this is exactly what's happening. So that's why I'm bringing this out. So the brother there, he did lie. So now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read my reply to this brother. And it was a very simple one. Very simple reply. Here's what I said. Why don't you ask all the brothers that I speak to on a personal basis? Very fair, right? Very fair. Okay, so now, as you already know, I like to keep things biblical. Let me take a drink real quick. I want you to go, Israel, to Exodus chapter 20, verse 16. Exodus chapter 20, verse 16. I'm going to read this commandment to you, Israel. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. That is very, very simple to understand. And that is exactly what that brother did. He bared false witness against me. It doesn't matter if it was minuscule. It doesn't matter if it was maximum. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that he lied on me. And again, this is a member of Deacon Sicarii's ministry. Now, I want you to go to Exodus chapter 23, verse 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Now, this is going to make so much more sense as I read the next part as to what he says. But what does it say? Thou shalt not make a false report. This man said that I only speak to the women. And guess what? That was a false report. You broke the commandment, brother. You broke the commandment. And now our people have to see this. So let me read back on YouTube what he said after I made my comment. And this is where all of this here comes from. It comes from this paragraph right here. Mr. Maliss, Deacon reached out to you about this doctrine and you refused to have dialect with him. So right there, Israel, that is a lie, and I'm going to prove it. So this is what kind of got me a little bit irritated because he said that Deacon Sicarii apparently told his ministry that I would not have a dialogue with him. So now Deacon Sicarii lied on me to his ministry. I don't know what was said in that response video, and quite frankly, I really don't care. So I want to deal with this particular issue right here, that he lied on me to his ministry. Okay? Let's go back. I'm going to read it from the beginning. Mr. Maliss, Deacon reached out to you about this doctrine and you refused to have dialect with him. We as priest, this man called himself a priest. We as priests have to be very careful we don't bring confusion to the body congregation. Deacon Sicarii will be going over your video at 11 o'clock. This evening, humble yourself and take correction, Ak. I watch your videos, brother. Regular, I have nothing but love for you, but like I and Akim have been saying, you got this one wrong. Shalom, King. Keep pushing. May Yahweh Wahawashai give you better understanding on this topic. So now, brother, let me address something here really quick. Now, you said that you have nothing but love for me. And quite frankly, I thank you for the support. Thank you so much. But you said that you have nothing but love for me. But brother, you bear false witness against me? Brother, let me ask you a question. What scripture is that says that's how you show me love? That's not love, brother. That's hate. But I expect nothing less from a devil. So now I want to read this here statement one more time from this very one. Mr. Maliss, Deacon reached out to you about this doctrine and you refused to have dialect with him. That is a 100% bold-faced lie, and I'm going to prove it right now. So, Israel, what I'm going to do, per our Instagram discussion, that Deacon Sicarii and I did have, and it was peaceful. Okay? I don't want to throw anything here or try to put anybody under the bus or anything like that, or try to defame this man's name. No, the brother was very, very peaceful. It was very respectful, but he was dishonest. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to respect his privacy because he is entitled to that. I'm not going to read the portions that he said, but all I need is to read the portions that I said to prove that this is a lie. I respect that man's privacy, and I always will. That's anybody's privacy. All right, so here we go. Let me get to Deacon Sicarii and I's conversation. There we go. All right, so I'm going to read the very first one. Very first one, I'm going to take it down. Watch this. Shalom, King. Now, this is me talking to him. All praises to the Most High God of Israel. First, allow me to say thank you for all that you do for our people. Thank you for awakening the dry bones. We are brothers, so no disrespect to each other on this topic, but we do disagree, and that is okay. As kings, we can disagree and keep peace among us, and those are my intentions. And please understand, I am in no way backing down from my word. We can and I will show you biblical evidence of one husband, one wife by the order of the Most High and Christ, and not circumstances of man. So as you see in that paragraph right there, I said, we can have this conversation and I will show you. So automatically, and I can stop it right there, but automatically that shows that he lied to his congregation because he told them that I refuse to have dialect with him. Now, brother, that's deceitful. That's deceitful. So now let's go ahead and continue. And remember, I'm only reading my portions. So here's the next part. Is this for the purpose of viewership or edification? Now, what he wanted to do was have a live discussion, which I had absolutely no desire to do. Why? Because I don't want to put forth this lying doctrine to anyone else to confuse the congregation, just like Priest Benjamin said. Isn't that what he said? Okay, and that is certainly my right to do, but I in no way refuse to not have dialect with this brother. Okay, so let me read this again. Is this for the purpose of viewership or edification? You and I can observe scriptural evidence proving it. There it is again. There it is again, my declaration to have this discussion. All right, so that's 2, proving it. Here's the next one. And it will always be divided, because pretty much what this brother said is that the nation was divided on this topic. And it will always be divided. We both know that. If you would like to have a discussion on the matter between ourselves, I am a man of my word. I will show you from scripture, and I'm sure you'll present your case, but I will never, listen to this, Israel, I will never debate the word for viewership. I would never disrespect the Most High like that, but I am in no way backing down from my word. Israel, there it is again. There it is again. So now this is 3 different times that I told this brother, hey, let's have this conversation. Now, mind you, this is 4 o'clock in the morning. This is 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go. I mean, that's what real men of the Most High do. Okay? We make haste to get that clarity. All right? And go to the next one. Here it is. I surely said if anyone wanted to reach out to me, you have many avenues to reach me, which you did. I responded and offered the discussion. So there it is again. I'm like, brother, I'm trying to talk to you about this. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. All right? The next part. Why does it matter if it is a private discussion? Is this in the interest of edification or viewership? So I ask him the question again. All right? So out of all of that there, Israel, it did not take long to prove that at all. I wanted to have the conversation with the brother, but I was in no way, shape, form, or fashion going to have it on a live platform so that you can continue to mislead our people with your lying ass doctrine. And I made that very clear. Did I or did I not? Did I back down though? Did I back down from the conversation? No. So brother, you lied to your congregation. You flat out lied to them. You lied on me. But that wasn't only it though. That was only the second circumstance. So now here's where the next part of the dishonesty comes in. So as you clearly see, I said, you know what? I don't want to do it live. You and I can do it pretty much man to man, right? Man to man. I'm a man of my word. Let's have this conversation. Right? So here's what he does. I want you to take a look at this image. So Israel, do you see what that image says right there? Mike Maliss challenges Sicarii on multiple wives. So I get several Instagram messages and whatnot from people saying, hey, you know what? Good luck with your debate with Sicarii and whatnot. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You say, oh, well, you're going to debate him. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? So one of the brothers sent me the image that I just showed you. At this point, I'm like, wow. So let me tell you what I said. Let me tell you what I sent to the brother right here. I send him, I say, brother, are you serious, brother? Here's what I responded back afterwards. Please look at your wording. You are falsely advertising that I will appear on your platform. As I expressed earlier, I have no interest in appearing on your platform for the purpose of viewership to increase your numbers. Now, as I also expressed earlier, you and I can have a conversation where I will show you scripturally it says about multiple wives. I truly hope you will not employ false and divisive tactics for the sake of viewership, brother. So here it is again. I'm making it very clear, brother, let's have this conversation. But come on, why are you going to lie? You know what he tried to do? What he tried to do was put that graphic and everything up there and to intentionally deceive people that I was going to appear on his show, then all of a sudden got scared and backed out. That's what he was trying to do. So divisive, but I expect nothing less from a devil. Read a little bit more. All right, so here it is. It is about views. You are choosing not to have the discussion man to man. Now, your choice of verbiage, and I'm speaking of his title there, your choice of verbiage on your advertisement is false. We will be there. I recommend you change that. So now I'm letting him know I have an issue with the verbiage that he's using because he's falsely advertising me he's falsely advertising me being on his platform. I have an issue with that. All right, so next part. Sir, brother, you weren't even honest with your advertising. You falsely advertised me on your platform. You can take these messages and show your congregation and Israel exactly what I said, but be honest. You lied to our people. How do you explain that, brother? All right. Next one. Brother, you falsely advertised me on your platform. All right. So now here's the next one. I appreciate your advice. In regards to the name, just be honest. I'm sure you can figure it out. And the very last notification. Brother, look at the title. You are advertising that I will be on your platform. If you cannot see that, then I don't know how to explain it to you. And I mean that with let me read that. And I mean no disrespect when I say that. So Israel, that was the conversation coming from my end. And I was able to read my portion because that's my business. I can do that. And again, I respected his brother's privacy and didn't read his. But let me say this. If anyone has an issue with that portion, All you have to do is reach out to Deacon Sicarii and get his permission to release his, and I'll release and I'll give it to you. And you can see the whole conversation. Nothing is to be hidden. But Israel, let me ask you a question. Why did this man have to lie? Why did he have to lie? For what? What was the purpose? Now, remember when I told you to plant that one in your mind, that definition of lie? Remember I told you about that one? Do y'all remember it? Or do I need to go back over it? Which you already know I'm going to do. I'm going to go back over it. Now, this was definition 5. To speak falsely or utter untruth knowingly, as with intent to deceive. Deacon Sicarii, that's exactly what you did, brother. That is exactly what you did. Knowingly. Now, I said I was going to wait just to see whether or not if you would actually change the title, just to give you the benefit of the doubt, but you didn't. You didn't. And here you go, deceiving the people to make it look like I was going to appear on your platform, even though I told you I had no interest in doing that because, number one, not to bump up your viewership, and that viewership would have brought people to there so that they can get accustomed to a little false doctrine there, which I was not going to stand for. Absolutely not. And that is certainly my choice. But you lied, brother. And now the whole world of Israel gets to see you lie. And what did it gain? So now here you have, brother, you lost your credibility because you are a liar and you bared false witness against your very own brother. And I was absolutely nothing more but respectful to you. But I expect nothing less from a devil. Now, this is something here I was thinking about. Like, if I was actually, brother, in your congregation, I would have to ask myself this question. Here you have a member of his congregation that bared false witness on this man, who was completely respectful to him as well. And now here you have the leader of the congregation that also bared false witness on this man. So if this leader would actually lie on this brother, what has he lied to us about in the past, or what will he lie to us about in the future? I would have to ask myself that. I would have to ask myself. Okay. Now, Israel, I want to take it back to scripture. I want you to go to Proverbs chapter 19. Proverbs chapter 19, I want you to go down to verse 5. Okay? Because again, even though I said my piece, I'm still going to back everything up with scripture. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. Watch this. I want you brothers to listen to this. A false witness shall not be unpunished. I'm going to read that again. A false witness shall not be unpunished. And he that speaketh lies shall not escape. That is a promise. That is a promise. Now, I want you to go to Proverbs 6. Go to Proverbs chapter 6, go down to verse 16. Listen to this. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Now, I want you to go to 1 John. 1 John chapter 4 and verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Many false prophets are gone out into the world. So first of all, we're going to start with your little lying doctrine. And now we're going to go back to Mr. Benyamin, who calls himself a priest, and you bear false witness. Now, brother, you being a priest, you ought to know these commandments. right or wrong. And Deacon Sicarii, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, brother. You ought to be absolutely ashamed of yourself to lie to your entire congregation like that. I'm not giving you opinion. I just gave everybody facts. Facts. I put it out there on the table for everybody to view and judge. Why would you do that, brother? Seriously, why would you risk the reputation of your ministry for a lie? Do you know why? Do you know why? Let me tell you why. Because your little lying doctrine requires lying spirits, which is yourself. And that's what that is. Didn't I tell every last one of you that watched that lesson last week on multiple wives that lust, remember the lust? That lust did not care how it was satisfied just as long as it was satisfied. And brother, you allowed your lust to get a double whammy on you. A double whammy, the both of you, 2 for 1. All within the same ministry, Israel. All within the same ministry. All within that same body of the ministry right there. His congregation. That's what it is. You see, the Most High will raise up them spirits, brothers and sisters. He'll raise it up. And do you know what the beautiful thing about this here, Israel, is that I didn't have to open my mouth to say anything at all. I never have to defend the truth. The truth will always defend itself, and it did. And that's a shame. That is truly a shame. Now, brother, I'm going to let you know this here right now. For one, I've already forgiven you about that or whatnot. I did. But brother, you got to stop your madness. You need to really swallow your pride, brother. Swallow it. Okay? This did not work out good in your favor at all. And I seriously want you to reconsider the things that you are doing, because quite frankly, it's time that you really step back and took a look at everything there. And you need to be observant of what's going on around you. First of all, starting with this little lying doctrine here, brother. Okay? I brought those scriptures out and I showed you what it said. And you chose not to have a discussion with me. Man to man. Man to man. But that's on you, though. That's on you. And even if you chose not to do that, brother, that would have been fine. We could have left that alone. But you decided that you wanted to lie. And I'm not even going to lie, yo. I mean, I was extremely disappointed. I was very disappointed in that. That was horrible. Not only horrible, but it was stupid. Brother, you have to use better common sense. Don't do that. Okay? If you are going to be a man of the Most High, if you are going to teach and preach the commandments, you have to be following them yourself. You must. That is what we do. Okay? So, brother, like I said, I forgive you. I'm making that declaration right now in front of all of Israel, brother. I forgive you and I still love you. But that had to come out, though. That truly had to come out. You can't be doing that. All right? Now, I'm sure you have many members or whatnot, and quite frankly, you owe them an apology. You owe every last one of your members an apology for lying to them. You do. Now, whether or not if you do that, I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't care. All I'm saying is that your members deserve an apology from you. And they do. Okay? So, brother, this is no love loss or anything like that here. You are still my brother. I still love you. Straight up. And hopefully I get to meet you one day. Hopefully I get to meet you one day and we can go ahead and give a pound, and hug each other's necks and whatnot and try to usher our people into this kingdom. But I will never join you under that little lying doctrine of yours. I'm not going to do it. Now, this is for everyone else in regards to that doctrine. Now, first of all, in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, the Most High through Moses says, one husband, one wife, that they are to cleave together, singular. And then Christ comes out and says it in Matthew 19:5. And then Paul comes out and says it in Ephesians 5:31. So here you have the Father, the Son, and also a brother. That all says the same thing. Old Testament, New Testament, that all says the same thing about one husband, one wife. That's what it says. So I'm telling you, for those of you who are watching this here, you better be very, very careful of that little lying doctrine, because those brothers are not following the Most High. They're not. Quite frankly, it sounds like they're aspiring to follow a Muslim lifestyle. That's what it really sounds like. But I'm going to say this right now. I am so sick and tired of this doctrine disrespecting our queens and princesses. I'm tired of it. Now, Israel, I'm serious. I really want you to tell me if I'm wrong for wanting to stand up for our queens and princesses. Kings, I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me, am I wrong for doing this? And show me scripturally. But the thing about this is that nobody, well, I won't say nobody, but many of our men choose not to stand up for our queens and our princesses. Because here you have Esau that's out there treating them like whores. And now here these brothers come doing the very same thing. They're following the patterns of Esau. You brothers ought to be ashamed of yourselves with this. Y'all need to stop. So brothers, again, if I'm wrong for standing up for our queens and our princesses and taking up for them so that the world, not only the world of Israel, but the entire world can see them in their full glory, let me know if I'm wrong. Okay? And once again, Deacon Sicarii, I forgive you, brother. And brother Yem Yam, I forgive you too. And I love y'all. And hopefully one day I get to meet you, brothers. But listen, there's no ill will with me. It's behind me. It's in the past. I'm not bringing it up again. All right. So that's what I wanted to bring out. And Israel, I thank you so much for giving me your time. And thank you for joining the lesson earlier. But Israel, as you already know, we will be back next week. And I look to see you then. And once again, Israel, I love you. I'm out.